What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of the Grogu's Gang podcast. I'm your host. My name is Carter, or at the Bro Wars, if you know me from Instagram. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what this show is all about. Grogu's Gang is just a group of bros chilling, talking Star Wars around a nice water cooler. Every other week, we will be recording a show, and in that show, we will be answering questions sent by you guys. If you'd like your question featured, send it to @Grogu'sGang on Instagram or email it to grogusgangpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can head over to all of our Instagram pages and send it in when we put up Q&As for the podcast on our stories. But without further ado, let's meet three awesome guys that I have the wonderful privilege of working on this podcast with. Mike, how you doing, bro?
Dude, just hello to everyone, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm excited to just chat around a water cooler, our imaginary water cooler. Socially distant, of course, but I'm excited to just talk Star Wars, as always.
Awesome, man. It's awesome to have you here. Arda, what's up, bro?
What's good? You might know me as
man.
Bonk. You might know me as Bonkrell on Instagram. Excited to get started.
Let's get it, man. Caleb, last but not least, how you doing, bro?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Having the best day of my life.
I am. My name's Caleb, and I'm from Star Wars _database on Instagram.
Dude, I'm excited to be with you all and just talk Star Wars because I've never really talked to Bon Crow really about Star Wars except his Thrawn hating reviews, but that's okay.
Yes, sir.
But that's it. And the Bro Wars, he used to listen to my podcast back in the day, and now he's doing his own podcast. So like I said, I'm just honored to be here.
Awesome, man. All right. So first question, let's get it right here. What is your favorite era and why?
Ooh, should I go first?
Yeah, man, go right ahead.
Okay. So obviously it's got to be the Clone Wars. It's the Clone Wars era has always interested me. Ever since I watched A New Hope, I think that was like one of the first Star Wars films that I watched because I still hadn't gotten into Clone Wars that much. But I watched A New Hope and they referenced the Clone Wars. I'm like, whoa, what's that? And then there's also a show going on at the same time. So I just watched the heck out of that movie. I know that movie gets a lot of crap on it, but you know what? And I'm one of the first people to say like that movie is terrible, but it's also considering the fact that it was 3 episodes put into one, but just even without the Clone Wars show, I think it's just a very fascinating era where you can argue that the Jedi are in their prime or not, or at least they think they are, but it's just like, man, it's just going downhill from here. So, and just, it's an era that's filled with so many characters and so many storylines that like, it can go on and on and on and on and on without ever it feeling too filled, in my opinion. So I have a very special bond with the era. So gotta say Clone Wars era.
Yeah, 100%, man. Me too, bro. Because I mean, you think Star Wars, bro? It's got wars in the name. Clone Wars, man. It's first of all the show really. That's what really makes the favorite for me, and like the clones and stuff. But Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, that really backs it up. I think I just like it because it's like kind of like a tragedy, bro. You know it's gonna end in sadness, but it's just fun. It's like watching a train wreck, man.
Right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with the Clone Wars as well. It's just the most interesting for me, and the characters are phenomenal, and the setting is great, and just all the intrigue between Anakin and where he's going to go. I mean, we know how it ends, but just seeing how he gets there, and obviously the clones are pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, I'll say Clone Wars too, obviously, but I will say I have the Imperial era has a special place in my heart just because of Darth Vader. But yeah, I mean, you can't really compete with the Clone Wars.
Ooh,
with all the
I
stuff
like
they're
your
adding
different
too
answer.
in the Imperial era. All right, so speaking of Clone Wars, this is a huge topic, especially with Mandalorian. People are asking this. Mace Windu, guys. Is he dead or alive? What do you guys
That
think?
dude is dead.
The man's dead.
He is dead.
Yeah.
Ashes, gone. He's not coming back.
Gotta
I
say
agree.
he's
I agree with
dead.
you.
I could listen if they came out tomorrow and said, "Hey guys, like he survived, he's alive," I'd be like, "Okay." I mean, it's not the most far-fetched thing, but I like to believe that he's dead. There's no reason for him to be alive. Like they're already exploring. You can make it for like, oh, he's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, but they're already doing that with different characters
Yeah.
in the post Order 66 era. So if he remains dead for eternity, or well, at least for the rest of my life, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Also-
I definitely think he's dead, but if he is somehow alive, like I'd believe it because he's Mace Windu, and I mean, as I think it's Samuel L. Jackson said, like Jedi have survived worse falls, so like I could see it, but I don't really see a purpose for it.
Darth Maul was cut in half and he survived. Like
Yeah.
Mace Windu is
Okay,
not the
but-
most far-fetched thing.
Right.
Yeah,
not
especially
even
with how
close.
Yeah.
strong he is.
I'll
Mhm.
offer a more extreme opinion. If they said he was alive, I'd be pretty pissed off. I mean,
Oh.
like,
That's
yeah, there's just no need. Like, you don't need to. It would feel so forced, man.
Right.
Like, it would feel so. I mean, it is Star Wars, but it would feel so fan fictiony and like just
Yeah.
like why? What are you gonna do? That whole era is already so fleshed out. Like, bringing Mace back, you're not gonna be. I don't think you're gonna be able to tell some huge story that's like comparable to something like Darth Maul's at that point.
Yeah. I think
It's-
that with Mace Windu, like, bro, that dude was one of the leaders, the top guys of the Jedi Council. And if he was alive, we definitely would have seen him by now, like reacting with everything going on. Like he would have been leader of the rebellion, or he would have tried to get something going. Like I feel like we already would have seen him. But also, if they
I
do
feel
bring him
like
back,
it's
I
so
feel like
hard to explain him.
it would be cool. Like a cool reason for me why he would come back is if Boba Fett kills him like right away. Like Boba Fett sees that there's a Jedi loose, and Mace Windu's like kind of scavenging around or something, and it's like a Boba Fett story where he goes to get revenge on his dad or something, and kills him off just right away before Mace Windu can start anything big.
See, I would like that because it adds to something. But if you just bring him back just cause, or like
Yeah,
some dude on YouTube's doing that, oh, he's gonna fight Vader. It's just like for what? Like that? I don't know. And I mean, it feels very fan servicey at this point. And I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure I said that about Boba Fett coming back, but like they handled it so well, and maybe they could maybe they could handle Mace Windu coming back well and with the story. But it's just like right now, just from the outside, I'm just like, just leave him dead. Like at this point, reviving everyone just sounds very it's just overdone now. So
Yeah,
repetitive.
exactly. The other thing, I'm not gonna take credit for this idea. This came to me from Noah. Mike, you know Noah, Star Warrior on Instagram.
Yes,
Go follow him
cool
if you don't. We were talking about this. He mentioned that. I mean, the moment where Mace dies, that's the moment Anakin literally sells his soul. Like, you don't want to do anything that undermines that, right? Like, bringing Mace back, I would say, sort of just undermines that whole moment. And yeah, that's not what you want to do at all, right?
Definitely.
Good
Yeah,
point.
you don't want to do anything like undermine his sacrifice with Palpatine coming back. Am I right?
Exactly.
The next question, Carter.
Yeah, we don't want to
go
get
crazy
into
on
that
this
right
one.
Yeah.
So check it out. Speaking of Boba Fett, now we're going to this. This one's easy for me. Slave One or Razor Crest? Slave One for me, easy.
Slave One.
Yeah, it's got to be Slave One. It's iconic.
I
I mean, I love the Razor Crest, but I don't know. I really like it, but
Slave One. Nice.
Slave One's pretty much undefeated.
Yeah, I'll go with Slave One, although I don't really have a strong opinion on
Especially
Star
seen in
on
Ultra
this.
HD in The Mandalorian. Ooh,
Yes, bro. Listen, I love the Razor Crest and the sound effects it carries, where it sounds like a Republic gunship.
Yeah.
Love that. But at the same and I love Mando's ship because he has like a whole arsenal. Like he has everything you need in there. It seems like he even has a low carbon freezing chamber in there, which I think is awesome. But Slave One, come on! When we saw it in the first time in Mandalorian in the in chapter 15, or the tragedy, the tragedy, 14, whatever
chapter
it was.
14.
Chapter 14, the tragedy. Wow. As soon as it came up, I got chills, and just that sound effect is still unmatched by any Star
Yeah, the
Wars
noise
show.
Unmatched,
effect.
bro.
Yeah.
And
The
also has
seismic
the
charge, or
the
Ooh,
seismic
yo.
charge, and then in the Believer we see that it has a rotating part of the ship that's just like always. Oh, that was great!
Nice.
Like I just loved it, and nothing gave me more chills than seeing the Slave One and seeing it in action too in the finale. That was great. So yeah, gotta say Slave One definitely.
Especially with those guns going backwards on there. That was awesome.
I was
that was
about to
dope, yeah.
mention that, bro. Yes, yes,
All
I'm
right, check it
excited to
out.
see more of it in the Book of Boba. I
that'd be
want to see
cool.
like more of the interior, like if he's got like a personal quarters, stuff like that too.
For sure.
That's so cool. Check it out. Here's the next question right here. What's the difference? Okay, listen to this. Let me do some thing right here before we talk about this. Everybody's always talking about gray Jedi and stuff like that. It's time to clear it up right now. What's the difference between Qui-Gon and gray Jedi?
Dang.
I was just gonna say the first thing I would say, like just to be super clear, like Grey Jedi are a thing in Legends. They're not a thing in canon. Like it's that simple. I think, and I don't know much about what they're like in Legends, but I have read that they're like sort of two definitions. One of them, people that blend like both sides of the Force, right? The other, Jedi that like just don't really care about the Jedi Council and what their principles are. So I think, I mean, you could kind of say Qui-Gon falls in the latter category, but he's certainly not somebody that like blends both sides of the Force.
Yeah, I definitely want to piggyback off that because Qui-Gon, like great Jedi, they operate outside the Jedi Council, but at the end of the day, Qui-Gon still reports back to the Jedi Council. It's not like he's just like a totally independent dude that just wanders off in the galaxy as a great Jedi. But like Qui-Gon is still rooted at he's not flipping to one side or the other. It's like you're either a Jedi or not. And Qui-Gon is definitely a Jedi. For me, when I think of Jedi, I definitely think of like, Luke Skywalker, Qui-Gon. So he's just not guided by the council as much, or he's not influenced. Like if you read the book Master and Apprentice, you'll see what I'm talking about. Or you get glimpses of it in
Read
the
that book
too. Yeah, read the book. So yeah, I gotta say there's a huge difference between Qui-Gon and Grey Jedi. But
Yeah, for me, I think like gray Jedi are just, even though like they are Jedi, they operate so far out from it that I don't think Qui-Gon can be that. And I've always, or at least I think I've always thought of Qui-Gon as one of the most prototypical Jedi, at least like the one that I think holds most true to what they should be.
mm-hmm.
That's facts.
Definitely. I couldn't even said it better myself. You guys sounded that perfectly. I got nothing else to add on that.
I'm always scared of that question.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
All right, check it out. This one right here. This one is, everybody's got to have a good one for this one. Your favorite scene in Star Wars? I would say my favorite scene is, bro, I'm going with even though it's a newer one, I'm going with the Vader's hallway scene. That's got to be my favorite scene in all of Star Wars, man. When I first saw that in Rogue One, man, jeez, man, that crap blew me away.
That's
Like,
chills.
I had no idea that was coming. And I always talk up Vader. I'm like, man, it's just the older movies. Like, he's not moving as fast just because it wasn't made the same as the prequels and stuff. And then seeing Vader like that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I probably got to go Duel of the Fates, probably towards the end where the shield gate comes down and Obi-Wan just goes ham on Darth Maul. I mean, obviously, like Maul and Obi-Wan doesn't really get too much better than that in terms of duels, but just the choreography there is phenomenal, and like the stakes that Filoni kind of explained where Qui-Gon was fighting for, like essentially being the father that Anakin needed. I feel like the stakes and emotions there are really high, and you feel it when you look back at it after hearing the quote.
Man, this is conflicting for me because everyone, I always get this question like, what's your favorite Star Wars scene? What's your favorite movie? And I can't pick a scene. Like, it just depends what day. And like yesterday, I could have said Kanan's end credits in Rebels, where Hera and Ezra are looking off in the distance. And then Ezra has his like last moment with Kanan, and it's just like goodbye, Kanan. And then this amazing music comes in from Kevin Kiner, and you're just like, holy crap! Like they just did that. But today I'm gonna say the because it still feels like this. 2021 is not off to a great start, so I gotta say the ending to The Empire Strikes Back when they're all looking outside that viewport into space, and it's just like they're so defeated. Leia just lost her mans. Luke, I want to get into this some other time about Luke and his journey post Empire, kind of a Last Jedi thing, but that'll be another time. But man, I just love that they're like they're kind of like trying to rebuild themselves, and they're just like in the medical frigate while the whole Rebel Alliance is like operating, and they're even Leia, like as a leader of the Rebel Alliance, she's in the medical bay with Luke there, and it's just like it's so emotional. It's like, and Lando and Chewie are off on their adventure to get Han back, and it's just like, bro, like
you're talking me into that scene now, bro.
I mean, they're so defeated, and I think it speaks, to us that every day, like we can feel defeated. Like every day when I came home from high school, for some reason I just felt defeated every time, and I always thought about that scene, or it's they're defeated, but they're still going on with their lives. So I think that speaks to what we have to do.
Deep. They're down but not out.
Yes, exactly.
I would gotta go with Victory Celebration. Just classic, so feel good, very emotional. When Anakin's Force Ghost pops up, man, very emotional.
Which Anakin though? Hayden or
Hayden. Come on now. We're not on that. We're not on that yub nub.
Yeah, that's next question for next time.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. That's like the perfect ending, honestly. I think that's probably one of my favorite movie endings of all time.
It's the best movie ending of all time, at least in Star Wars, I'd say. But probably top 3 ever as well.
If you ask me that question tomorrow, that's going to be my answer. Victory Celebration.
Just watching the Ewoks bonk the heads of the stormtrooper helmets, man. That seals it.
Mm-hmm.
The music.
All right, so here we go. We're going into our next question right here, and Caleb was kind of talking about this when he said his favorite scene. What makes a Star Wars duel good?
Man, there's a lot of things that go into it, but obviously the choreography is big. Just the stakes. What's at stake? What do the characters involved in the duel? Do they have like a history? The setting of it is pretty big. The music, the score. I mean, how cool the characters are. It's just a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's got to be like a perfect melting pot.
Because we get examples of, I'm not going to say sucky duels, because I mean everything's pretty cool, but in Clone Wars and in Rebels, like just regular Inquisitor fights, or like Ventress versus Anakin for the 400th time.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as something super high stakes, like Ahsoka versus Maul. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
although
like
at the same time,
cleanest.
I gotta say, like, Obi-Wan versus Maul just never gets old for me.
Yeah.
Well, I think Caleb answered that question well. So I'm going to name a duel that I thought was there in terms of like choreography, but like lacked music, because as Caleb said, you need music. And one of the bummers in Rise of Skywalker was Kylo Ren versus Rey. On that, like I really liked the duel. Like the choreography was good. I was like, I was vibing to when they were clashing sabers on the Death Star 2 on the throne room.
Yeah.
And then it transitions to them like fighting over these steel beams, and I'm just like, whoa, this is very reminiscent of Anakin versus Obi-Wan. I'm like, okay, this is great. But like the water was great. The setting, as Caleb said, is important too, and the water just coming over them and Kylo Ren walking, like Rey jumps over a wave and he just walks right through it. Like that is insanely good. That's awesome. But the music was just like not there. And like, yes, the sound effects was great, but like the music was not there to add to the emotion. Also, I felt like there was no stakes to it. So I was just like, all right, like this is what we're doing. But other than that, like I thought the fight was great, but but the music, you gotta have music, you gotta have stakes, you gotta have a reason to fight. So that's kind of how I feel about the duels and Attack of the Clones, where like the choreography's fine or whatever, but yeah, it's just I'm just bored with it at that point. So yeah. That's my take.
Yeah, I would say having, a lot of duels don't have this because the characters are going to survive, but like actual tension where somebody might die, right? And that sort of brings you to the edge of your seat. That's why I think Duel of the Fates is by far the best. That's why something like Maul versus Obi-Wan at their last duel. I mean, you kind of knew Maul was going to die, but that one's also amazing. Vader versus Ahsoka. Ahsoka could have really died there. So yeah.
I agree. I think Maul and Obi-Wan's final duel, that's like a perfect example of like choreography and like crazy stuff isn't everything.
Yes.
Because that was like awesome.
Yeah. The build up to that was unreal. Just like the mental gymnastics they're both doing against each other, like psyching each other out essentially, and then Obi-Wan lures him into killing him or trying to kill him the same way he killed Qui-Gon. It's pretty perfect.
When meaning takes over choreography, I'll take it. So, and I love that fight, that duel instantly. Like I didn't realize that it was Obi-Wan's like same move, or what Caleb just said until I watched Rebels Recon and they pointed out in behind the scenes stuff, and I was like, oh shoot, like that's awesome. And I love the duel even more. Like people at first were like disappointed with it, but I was like, guys, you guys gotta go watch this Rebels Recon on StarWars.com, the YouTube channel or whatever. Like go watch it, and your experience with the duel will just enhance. Like will even change your opinion on it. So go check it out. And that happened to a lot of people. So they were definitely prepared for the backlash.
Yeah, they were like, wait, before you say anything, check this out. It's got meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of Rebels, here's a good question. What are your thoughts on Rebels? Let's hear it from you guys.
Very good.
I think it's really solid. It gets compared to the Clone Wars way too much. It's got to live on its own. People got to look at it as its own thing. I mean, yeah, it continues storylines and character stories from the Clone Wars, but it's its own thing. It's about a family. It's not about a war. I mean, it is about a war, but that's like an underlying factor of it, unlike the Clone Wars, where that's all about war, basically, and character development takes like a backseat. But Rebels is all about the character development. I just love Rebels so much. I've been on a journey with it, like for the past 6 years, and I just love that show so much. It definitely has some, some high ends and some low ends, but like overall, it's just a very, very good show. And I think it's when you watch it, when you kind of binge watch it, where you watch it consecutively, it's a much more structured and consistent show than when you watched it like I caught an episode week to week, or caught an episode in 2014 and you're like, what the heck is going on here? But it's just really like, I love season 1, I love season 2, I love season 3, and season 4 to me is still like, I love the end half of it, but like the first half is very weak, but I very much love the second half. And I just love Rebels overall, and there's people are still discovering Easter eggs from it in the show. So I think that just speaks to, and not just like, oh, here's a reference to this, but just like little, oh, Ezra had this wristband that he wore in episode 2, which someone as Morgan gave him, and he was wearing it when he met him again. Like just little stuff like that. It's just like, wow, it really speaks to the creator's abilities to connect everything and keep it consistent. So I like it a lot.
I just think people that haven't seen it, man, you guys are missing out, bro.
You should watch it. Yeah
Definitely
that was kind
recommend.
of that was kind of the bridge that took me from like, do I really want to get into all this stuff as a fan? And then I made that leap, watched it, and that's kind of what made me a big fan.
Oh, you made the leap.
Yeah,
Maybe-
that was the leap. That was the leap. And it has such a wholesome, like,
I
you
was
go
just
you
about
go
to say
really
that,
close.
yeah.
You go really close to them. This may be a bad comparison, but shows like it kind of reminded me of like when I binged like The Office or like Parks and Rec. I don't know if I mean, you've probably heard of those shows. Like they just have like a really wholesome feel, even if they're like comedy based. Like you just like really grow close to this group of characters, and then when it's over, you're like mildly depressed for a week.
Yes.
Especially with season 4, man. Those stakes felt
Kanan's
super
death,
high.
man.
The ending,
Kanan's
bro,
death
especially
is tough.
after Rogue One and stuff. With season 4 coming out, I was like, dang, man, like this could be tough on the Ghost crew, man. But all right. So actually, this is good with Rebels too because Rebels did this a lot. Bringing characters from Legends back into canon. So if you guys could choose one person from Legends, what would you guys want to bring back? Who?
My answer would be Thrawn, but they already brought him back. So I really have I probably just, and not because they're a favorite. So like when I joined Instagram in 2013, I just dated myself, by the way, but when I joined Instagram in 2013, like at the time people were like still posting about this blue alien guy with red eyes. And I was just like, who is this guy? I was like, yeah, who a blue alien, like this is so, you don't see anything like this in the movies really. So I'm like, that's interesting. So he always like fascinated me. And of course, when he was seen in the Rebels trailer, I was like, oh shoot, there he is again. And I was like, oh, I think I might like this guy. It's a little bit weird. I wish they continued a bit with the Inquisitor storyline, but I'm ready for this. And Rebels blew me away. So I'm gonna say Darth Revan because I don't know like anything about the character. So I'm just hoping that they could bring him into like into a novel or into a comic, or I would love for him to appear in something in the Disney Plus series, just so I could familiarize myself with him, because it's just gonna take a lot for me to read through all his material and understand his character. So just do it for me, please.
And everybody speaks of him so highly too. So I want to see like where the hype's at, man.
He's
like, he's my favorite character, and I'm like,
he's like another Anakin. I mean, like in the sense that like he went through the whole spectrum, right? Like he was a Jedi, Sith. Like I think that just has a basic appeal to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mike,
and then otherwise, I mean, I'd say like, I mean, he's canon, but Darth Plagueis, I mean, we literally don't really know anything about him other than that he was Palpatine's master and that he died by his hand. So like,
yeah,
really,
I second that.
What I'm looking for in the Acolyte is some content on Darth Plagueis, because he's pretty awesome.
That'd be cool.
I hope they give us. I think his master is Tenebris or something, and Tenebris and Plagueis.
Tenebris.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool duo. I mean, the timeline fits if they're right definitely about the fact that it's 50 years before episode 1. Yeah. If that's true, then I mean, those are the only dark side characters I could imagine being in it, unless they like really do something sort of wacky in terms of like dark side characters that aren't Sith. I don't know.
Right, it's a golden opportunity to bring Plagueis and possibly Tenebris back into it, and I hope they take advantage of it.
Yeah, so, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Mike, you kind of copied my exact thoughts. I was thinking Revan too, but since you copied that, I'm gonna say, is it Mara Jade or Mara Jade?
I think it's Mara Jade, but
I think if they introduce her, I think that'd be pretty cool, and it could kind of build like if her and Luke had like a relationship or something, and then she died or something, like.
Bro, that would be too depressing.
but that would like kind of like topple on top of Luke's like in episode 8, like that dude's just flat out depressed, and that kind of topple on top of it.
Yeah, that could be a good way to add to his reasoning for that being like that. But do we want to get to which upcoming Star Wars project are we most excited for?
Yeah, did I skip?
We could do that quickly, maybe.
Yeah.
So end it off.
But yeah, let's just go quick. What are you guys excited for?
The future's looking pretty bright. There's a bunch of new stuff coming out. Andor's looking really good, but I'm most excited for the Bad Batch for sure because it looks like the Clone Wars season 8 basically,
Yeah,
and I'm all about that.
Yeah. For me, I'd probably go. I'm going Book of Boba Fett, man. He stole the show in Mandalorian for me. I was more hyped to see him than Ahsoka.
Yeah, I agree with that. I fully agree with
Yeah,
that.
I was
Dude,
too.
I was going
Yeah.
crazy when that dude popped up. So I'm going Book of Boba Fett, man. I want to see that dude go crazy in his own show.
I don't know. For me, I mean, look, I'm excited for mostly everything coming out. But like, I'm excited for Rangers of the New Republic. Like, that sounds super, super, super awesome. Book of Boba Fett was a total surprise, so I'm excited for that. And not only that, it's Boba Fett, but like it's Fennec too. I really love Fennec in Mandalorian season 2.
Badass
So
duo.
like, dude, it's a badass duo, and I'm ready for that.
And it
Yeah.
can.
Do you think? Do you think that they are? I don't know. I kind of in the tragedy, I got kind of a vibe that they were like more than
more than
partners.
partners.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Hey, I'd be down for that.
Isn't her whole midsection like robotic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. She's got a
So, I mean-
robotic gut.
I mean, I'm excited for that. So if they go that way where they establish them as a couple, hey, I'd be down for it. But the one I'm most excited for is not even Ahsoka. I mean, I'm very much. Oh my, we're getting an Ahsoka show, but I gotta say, the Acolyte. Now that was not my favorite until reading about the High Republic content, bro. I'm just beyond excited for that era to like read about these characters and then get references to them in that show or get like some more lore added to the era, even though it's gonna be like. I think like 150 years, gap between the books and the series. But like, man, I'm so excited for it. So I'm excited to visualize a bit of what I'm reading about. So I'm excited.
I'll say all three of those shows you've mentioned so far, Bad Batch, Acolyte, and Book of Boba Fett, I'm very excited for all of them. I'll say the Obi-Wan show though.
Ooh,
Just because, bro,
Dang.
we're getting
I was
live
gonna say.
action. We're getting live action Darth Vader again. I mean, come on. I saw like the tweet, like they showed the investors like an image where he's like sitting on some throne, like, bro.
And
That's
cool,
gonna
man.
be. I'm gonna be really excited for that, and we're gonna see Hayden. Probably some flashbacks if they bring back Qui-Gon for like, I don't know if he's like a Force ghost communicating with Obi-Wan. Oh my God.
that'd be perfect.
I
Oh,
mean, come on.
they gotta bring back
it's gonna be.
Qui-Gon.
It has insane potential.
And they got a great cast going on like so far.
Yeah.
So I think they definitely could bring back
Bro,
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
and Hayden. Oh my God.
Yeah,
have
that's
so much
another one
stuff.
where
Get
like
better.
it's a golden opportunity to have Qui-Gon in there, just like it is a golden opportunity for the Acolyte to be about Plagueis and Tenebris.
Yeah.
And if they don't take that opportunity, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. But we'll see where it
be
goes.
disappointed
I'm
because
pretty excited.
be disappointed because Acolyte is what the rumors say is that it's going to be a female centric show. So it probably
Vegas is a chick.
Yes.
Yeah, facts.
That's what I'm not
Change it
understanding
up.
about that show.
I don't
I
understand that
definitely
either.
think Plagueis is going to be a chick.
Is the female protagonist? Because I mean, they talk about how they're going to explore dark side stuff. So I don't really understand if the female protagonist is actually going to be some dark sider or I don't know what that means. But
Could be kind of lore breaking, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm open to it still.
I think it's I don't think it's gonna be a Sith. I think it's just gonna be darks. We're gonna explore because here's the thing with I'll go on a quick rant before we end the show. The thing for me about the High Republic that I find so fascinating is and even one of the preview copies I'm reading right now, they go into the fact that there are no Darksiders in this era, like any known ones. Like it's really the Jedi taking up the usage of the Force. They're the only ones using it right now. So what I want to see is, and that's how the era is going to end, the High Republic era, is when these Sith baddies or Sith wannabe baddies show up. So I'm excited for like to see that premise, to see, we're in a time of enlightenment, and then here come these dark side people blackening
Nowhere.
the white sphere, the
Oh.
white atmosphere that there is. They're coming in. They're gonna blacken everything, and I'm excited to see what kind of. And it's probably not even like it. Maybe we'll see Plagueis towards the end of the show, or a reference, or like something like maybe he guides these Sith acolytes. In
He
the
just
right
makes
direction.
a cameo as like a banker in his alternate persona. That'd be so cool.
Oh,
If they just
that
did
would
that,
be-
that would be chilling.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be great. That'd be
Yeah.
great. But
What's
I'm
his
just
What's his
excited
name?
for
Like Damask something?
Yeah,
Hugo
Hugo.
Damask.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for
That would
the
be cool.
for the acolytes to like all of a sudden these acolytes are popping up in the corner of the galaxy, and all these Jedi are like, wait, but we're in a time of enlightenment right now. It's just us, and you see these dark side people show up. I definitely would like to see a Plagueis thing, but I really want this to contribute to the High Republic era than it contributing to the Skywalker saga. That's just me.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, guys. I think that's wrapping it up right there. That was a good way to end off. High Republic. Let's hype. Join the hype train for that one. But
Yes.
that's
All the
all we
shows.
got for today. I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with me, talking with me today, and then I appreciate
course.
everybody for listening in.
Anytime.
Thanks for joining the gang. Everybody stay safe out there. Have fun, but socially distanced fun. And
Where can people find you on Instagram, though?
oh yeah, you guys can find me at the.bro.wars. Where can the beautiful people find you guys?
Y'all can find me at all_Star Wars. I'm doing some real Instagram testing, but I'm probably done with it today. But other than that, like I'm going to be covering the High Republic era as I'm reading along these books. So yeah, join me. If you're not going to read the books, just join me, and I'll let you in on the know on all the lore of the era so far. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Y'all can
Master
find
Bong
me.
Krell. Oh, go ahead. Go
My
ahead.
bad. Y'all can find me
Fighting for
on
the spotlight.
Star Wars_database on Instagram, and follow me on my quest to post every still from the Bad Batch show before it releases.
Yes, sir.
That's a really
I'm
good
not
series.
gonna be there. I'm not gonna be there.
Okay, I'll be
Just
there.
a hater.
Yeah, facts. Find me Master_Bong_Krell.
I think you won the award for the best name.
Yeah,
No,
doubt.
isn't his name Pong? Why'd you change it to Bong? I'm confused.
For the memes. What do you mean?
Hey, hey, that's before we get
No,
into
for
that, guys.
another
I
time.
know these guys are driving to work or something. They're trying to hop out the car, but they're like, man, I gotta listen to what they're saying at the end. We're ending it right here. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you all later. Stay safe out there. And to those of you that are listening in, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.